Hello, welcome to the Workplace Wizards. Today we're going to be talking about the Safe Count Sheet. And by the way, it is an Excel spreadsheet, and it is for sale at the Workplace Wizards website at workplacewizards.com/recordkeeping program. You can also email us and contact us at workplacewizards.com, or you can contact us through toll-free 1-800-753-0657. I'm going to go ahead and let Donna take over. She's going to explain the system to you. Go ahead, Donna.
Okay, before we actually get into it, I do want to say that we are a restaurant consulting company. We help restaurants in whatever they need if you're starting a new one or if you already have one. And we have all kinds of resources out there. We do on-site training and assessments and phone consultations, on-site consultations, whatever it is you need. Okay, the Safe Count Sheet. So we have links up here as places where we found that you can either buy the software or you can download the free OpenOffice software. And we have some points as far as things that have happened to us and we've witnessed in the past. We're going to tell you today about setting the dates and the Safe Count Sheet itself and what the cells are, the tip envelope sheet, the cash envelope drops, and the cash deposits. In addition, we have some other instructions here. These are what we recommend, how you would use the Safe Count Sheet and how you would keep track of that information. We also have how to save it and how to store it. So there's a lot of information there. We do have our number here and the web contact us for email. You'll see at the bottom that there's a lot of numbers here. Each of these numbers corresponds to a day of the month. So 1, 2, 3, 4, each day of the month is going to have its own set of sheets. Each day has a first shift, the beginning count, and their ending count for that safe. So each of those has that. They also have the second shift. So if we go scroll over, we'll see the second shift, and then a third shift if you happen to be open 24 hours or overnight. So this shows you the Workplace Wizards name up here. So let's say your restaurant's name is Henry's Cafe. So whatever your cafe is, or whatever your restaurant's name is, you can put it in up here. Then you can see that it's automatically going to populate on each day there. It populates down below. And in addition, each day at the bottom, as you go through 1, 2, 3, you'll see it also populates there. So you only have to put that in there one time. In addition, the date you only have to put in one time, the first day of the month. So you can actually have this sheet set up. So if you wanted to do it as 6/1/2012, you would have it there. Again, it's going to populate automatically. The next sheet is going to show you 6/2. So that helps you so you don't have to keep typing those dates in. Only have to do it once. So we're going to go back to 7/1 because the dates in here correspond to that. We have what could be a sample of what someone may come in as they count the safe sheet. So they would count how many rolls each pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. They would also count how much cash is left in the safe. So in this case, probably what happened is that some of these rolls have been used by the previous shifts. So whenever this first shift person generally is the one that will go to the bank, they should make sure that they get enough rolls to replenish those quantities. You're going to have your total safe fund. So in this case, we have $525 as our total safe fund. This information here will automatically populate as to whether you're over or under. So if you put in here that, let's just show you how it works. If we had only 2 20s, then you can see that there's a $20 shortage. Not something you'd want to see. So let's go back and say there were actually 3, and then it's 0 left. You will have cash deposits in the safe, and this should only occur on the first shift that there would be cash deposits from previous shifts, and only if the other managers were unable to go to the bank during their shift. And that's usually the case if it's dark out. We don't recommend that any manager goes to the bank to deposit cash. Then you may have tip envelopes from the previous shifts for any server or bartender or anyone you have that works for you that gets tips, and maybe they had to leave before that tip could be given by the customer. It might have been a customer who was just staying on for a while. So they would leave that tip envelope in the safe. So you'd verify that was there. As well as any cash till drops. So anyone who left cash in the safe from previous shifts to empty out the register so they're not having so much money in the front. In addition, the manager's count. The manager that counts it should have their name here, the time they did the count, and which shift they're on. Then in the end of their shift, and this would be after they already took these deposits to the bank, replenished their amounts. So this is now showing the tens, the pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, as well as ones, fives, and tens. So generally you don't keep 50s or 100s or 20s in there. They would only be if your customers had given those. So there's your safe fund. And then over here again, you may have the tip envelope. If that person didn't work that day, their tip envelope would still be there, and any additional ones that occurred. The cash till drops again should have been deposited, and so that manager would count, sign off on that count. We recommend that each day or each shift that the manager will print these sheets out. And you can see these dotted lines here. That corresponds to the pages. So this is page 1, 2. So that's what the first shift would print out. Then we recommend they sign it in ink so that a permanent record can be held and no one can go back and change that sheet because that would be accessible to the other managers. So then the same thing should happen on the second and the third shift. So that basically explains how you would use the cash safe, the safe count sheet. And Jeff may have some additional tips on other things about counting the safe.
You know, the only thing I can tell you is that you do have a district manager and you have a general manager or owner that would do periodic spot checks. They would come into the restaurant unannounced. They would ask you to open up the safe. They would verify the funds in that safe, and they'll go as far as looking into the system, in this particular case, the safe count sheets, and they may want to go back to maybe 3 weeks just to verify that everybody's on the same page and that this is being done. It's very important to take this seriously because not only it protects the restaurant's money, but the manager as well. If you're doing your safe counts and you're documenting the information and you're printing out these sheets, nothing can go wrong. If you are not doing it and the next shift comes in and there's no money in that safe, or if you're missing money, then it falls back on the previous manager who did not follow through on the procedures. So that's all there is to it today, folks. And we're glad you stopped by, and you have a great day.
Okay. Did want to point out that any of the cells that are green are protected so that those are the calculations, so you don't have to worry about it. The only ones you're going to use are the white spaces. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you at our website at www.workplacewizards.com. Bye-bye.